Hello there.
General Kenobi. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Mia, and may the Force be with you. Today on Real Talk, we will discuss the most high-flyingest, most laser sword fightingest, and most Force-usingest movie series of all time. We, of course, are talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars is a movie series that has grossed over $10 billion at the box office worldwide. It is something we have admired and wish to be a part of, and something that we have even loathed. I am looking at you, Jar Jar Binks.
You mean Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks. But let's get into the real talk about it after this intro. So, what movie do you want to watch?
I don't know.
Do you want to do a quote off? Last quote wins.
You come to my house on the day my daughter is to be married and ask for a quote off?
You have a daughter?
Yes?
Say hello to my little friend.
I am Iron Man.
I am Batman.
My name is Arrigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
How could I kill your father if I am your father? Not this. Oh! Tis but a flesh wound.
You shall not pass. Great Scott! That's the perfect thing to watch!
Now we're really ready to talk Star Wars, a franchise spanning 9 movies, multiple spin-off movies, and multiple TV shows.
It is something that has inspired and been used for inspiration. We can look to all of the parodies, from Spaceballs to Family Guy to Phineas and Ferb to more. We can even look at our music with Star Wars Cantina, Call Me Maybe Dark Side Edition, R2D2 Dubstep, and more. Star Wars is not something we can't get out of our minds. I mean, look at all of them.
I mean, like, do you know how catchy Star Wars Cantina is? It's
Yeah,
Coca
I know.
Cabana Star Wars edition.
She's played it in my car multiple times,
Yes,
and it
it's
gets stuck
very-
in my head randomly. Yeah.
It's very bad. Well, it's very good as well, along with just the inspiration aspect of even expanding into toys, in particular, toys such as these.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, please don't hurt me.
No guarantees. I
Oh.
mean, you can go from The Simpsons to parodies to everything galore. I mean, Legos in particular,
Yeah.
very much so. And on that note of Star Wars tours, I have Legos. And now let's cut over to other Mia and other Ben, who are currently going to have a Lego race-off.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are we all doing? We are doing pretty good because we got some Star
Legos.
Wars Legos. If you ever want to buy these, you
Ask
can.
my parents.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom and
They
Dad.
don't sell these anymore.
They don't. Wait, they do. They sell Star Wars Legos. Go to Target. They sell them there, I
Yeah,
think.
just not
Lego
these
store.
ones.
Just not these ones. These ones are old, and I should have built them sooner, but I didn't, and now I get to use. Good
All
job.
right.
Okay.
Well, rules are simple.
Okay. We both get to unbox these and lay them out first, and then we will yell "go," and then we will both try to build the Legos at the same time. Whoever wins is the person who finishes first, but also who truly wins is the person with the better Lego set.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I think I'm gonna win.
I think I'm gonna win as well.
Okay. Well, look. Putting aside our differences, look.
Okay.
Are you a pour all the pieces out and build with them, or pour all the pieces out, sort them, and then build with them kind of person?
I sort.
Same.
Okay. So,
No disadvantage to either of us there.
mhm.
I don't know which one will be the disadvantage, but let's just
Okay, let's
get
just
into it.
let's get into the unboxing. If you'd like to listen to some ASMR, sucks to be you. You get to open. Keep yours on
Oh,
your
no.
side. Shall we? Anything else in here? No. Mine is better.
No, I think mine's better.
Hello. We are now back after organizing things. Because.
It's all organized. It's all
Okay.
here.
Ready?
Ready.
Set.
Go.
Go.
All right. Oh no.
Why is this bent?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, I have to figure out all the individual colors of them. I think I have a disadvantage in this one because of all the capes that take forever to put on.
He gets a jetpack. Well, at least Edna Mode would approve of me.
That she would.
No caps.
No capes.
Why are the heads like this? Do you need a vibrator? You do not. You do need a gun though. Warning to all the children out there: please do not
Don't fire it at their eyes.
Don't
Says
fire
it-
at your
says right
eyes.
there.
Also, please do not as a note, fire it into your mouth or at someone's face near their mouth. Coughing one of these pieces up is very painful.
Sounds like you have personal experience.
No, I just shot my brother a lot.
Ah, okay. So technically, I have personal experience. Just,
Yes.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say, unfortunately for you, I am done.
Yes, and I have now lost.
That's unfortunate, but there's still a Lego set to build.
Yes, and I'm trying to figure out where the rest of this. How many steps did you have?
I had. Well, okay.
You had 11 steps.
No,
I have 24.
Well, the main thing was 25, and then add the 11. Because it just, like, it restarts for some reason.
Oh, that's
Got one.
weird.
Yeah.
That's
Like
very
this
weird.
Little
Okay.
turret? I don't know what this is, really.
I don't know what these things are. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I put. If I can get things hooked on.
Okay, do you have a giant bin of like spare parts that you like pick up all the little spare parts in and then just dump them in?
No.
I do. It's really satisfying.
Trying to. I shall hurry. My physical therapist would be very proud of me.
I'm very proud of you too.
Thank you. Why triangles? Why do you exist?
Triangle, honestly, triangle, that's kind of like a mid-tier shape, honestly.
Honestly, it's not that great.
It's really overrated. I think, like, Pythagorean theorem, like...
Smamagian theorem? I don't know how to smack talk.
Pythagorean theorem, more like Smanagorean theorem.
Theorem, yes. What is this that I am making? You turned all of them into guns? What?
Wait, yeah, wait.
And then this thing goes into the front nose holes. And yes, I refer to them as nose holes because they're two holes in the front of a ship, and a ship is a face.
Exactly. Do you think a ship would breathe through its nose holes?
I think it would. To be honest, I think it would. I also feel like that's where exhaust is supposed to come out, like on a ship. So, yeah, this goes right here as a little side gun. So you can shoot from the side of this thing. And I'm done now.
Yay!
And I'm missing a gun. So.
Are you missing out, or is one of them supposed to be like the pilot? Because like on the... Ooh.
No, they're all supposed to have their own gun. Or at least it showed them all having their own guns in the setup to this.
Maybe it's so that you can like take the mounted gun out?
Maybe. They also gave me an extra visor. So huzzah.
Well, that's it for this one. Looks like I am victorious.
Or are you?
Oh! Ow! What treachery!
This isn't treachery. I win. I have more guns. I have more ammo.
Yeah, but I did it first. I completed the build first. That was the...
Well, the other option was who had the better set. I have a pod racer, and I get 3 good guys. Well, kind of good guys. I get a bounty hunter.
Oh, well, how about you bounty hunt this?
Oh, how about you bounty hunt this?
Back to you, other Mia and Ben.
Wow, that sure was cool. But do you know what's almost cooler?
Jar Jar Binks.
No, the opinions of Star Wars fans. Well, look, let's just bring on our first guest, Max.
Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Max Harding. I'm these guys. I'm your advisor for TV10, and I do consider myself a bit of a Star Wars fan.
Nice. Well, when and how did you get into Star Wars?
Oh man. So, I think I started. Okay, this is like some deep Max lore here. Okay. But back when I was, I think it was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, a cousin of mine got me as a Christmas gift a tiny little Lego Millennium Falcon. And I had no idea what it was. I'm like, oh, it's just a flying saucer because spaceships, right? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And my dad saw it. And he was like, oh, that's from Star Wars. I'm like, what's Star Wars? And then we sat down and we watched the original trilogy. and I have been hooked ever since.
So, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Okay, so a little bit of a spoiler on the screen here,
Sorry.
but my favorite hands down is Rogue One. It bucks the trend of standard Star Wars, and it's the most fun to watch. I've definitely heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's an unneeded story. Oh, it's just to fill a plot hole, that sort of thing." I disagree with all of that. It's not about like if these characters continue on into some franchise, right? It's about the story itself, and that story is incredible. And also all the nods to the original trilogy are really, really good too.
I'll say I agree. Like they do a lot of like the callbacks and like the plot holes, but like that's just like a vehicle to bring the story into
It's not
existence.
Well, and that's the thing is it's not like a big. It's not this like, oh, look at this, Thanos copter or whatever, like in the Loki, like show, right? You see this random Easter egg or whatever. Yes, there's Easter eggs in this movie, but that's not the point. It's not like the center point, right?
It also can be viewed as adding so much more weight to the like originals in the way of which that's how they got the information.
Oh yeah.
And like spoiler alert, everyone dies.
Right.
So
I mean, if you've seen New Hope, they.
I'll talk.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm assuming everyone here has watched
The
Star
movie.
Wars.
If you if you'd want to provide a mini synopsis of the story, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely. It's so Rogue One is basically it's a story about the stealing of the Death Star plans that are described in Episode 4, right? Many people died to get us these plans. It's basically to fill that, and it has a subplot of Imperials that don't like what the Empire is doing. I don't know. It gives a lot of gray area to this like comically evil Empire, which watch Andor. If you Andor is made by the same people who made Rogue One, and it fleshes out like Cassian Andor, which is the main character in Rogue One. Just watch it. It's incredible. It's just more storytelling, just like Rogue One.
Rogue One is my parents' favorite Star Wars movie, and my dad has seen Andor, and he loves it.
Yeah.
And like me and him are to my mom like, you should watch Andor. It's so good. You'd
is
love it. And she's like, nah. And then we're like, come on.
It's really hard to get people who've never It's made when you watch it. It feels so much different to any other Star Wars.
Oh,
so
yeah,
when people
100%.
are like, oh, it's just more Star Wars. No. It is not just more Star Wars.
Okay, I haven't watched all of Andor because it doesn't it is Star Wars. It takes place in the Star Wars universe, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars because Star Wars is more space opera-y esque. It reminds me of Flash Gordon, to be honest, or at least the originals.
that's what.
But
it's inspired
Andor doesn't, but it's still good, or at least what I've seen is good.
I
You should
highly,
finish
highly
it.
recommend finish it.
Okay.
Just finish it. It's really, really well done.
I do love how the one unfortunate side effect of Andor, though, is that basically it'll come up in literally every single discussion about Star Wars when
Yeah.
we're not even talking about it right now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is Rogue One is just as good. Is just as good as Andor. And yeah. Go ahead.
Is there anything that you would change about Rogue One, though, if you could?
Really put me on the spot here.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, what you could change in Rogue One to make it a little bit better is to make it longer. It's a I know. You could make it longer. I've seen a lot of cuts of what they've cut from the movie, and I know it was plagued with reshoots and had a really, really tough time actually just getting off the ground. I also think if they would have, now this is just me personally, because I like a nice violent ending to a story like this, but the original plan for the ending of this movie was for every single character to get cut to pieces by Darth Vader. You know that ending scene in Rogue One, that was supposed to be our main characters getting just absolutely destroyed.
Oh,
But
okay.
they had thought that's a little bit too violent for this, for the movie.
Yeah.
So just throw in some nameless rebels anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is still a cool scene.
That's reasonable. Like, my only edits would make maybe a little bit better, like, CGI in certain points, along with, like, my only critique when I saw it, but also, like, I was much younger, was I didn't want everyone to die. I know they had to. That would make it a terrible movie if they didn't all die. So that's a good thing that everyone's dead.
I think the CGI is incredible. I think specifically the only bit of CGI that is a problem is the Peter Cushing, like, computer generation.
Yeah.
It still kind of holds up to this day. The problem is that he'll turn his head in weird ways and it looks strange.
It works. It's just something that like
It's a product of its time.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't I feel like you can't ever really make like something like that for like a really long period of time without it looking weird.
I honest to God think they should have just recast him.
Yeah, like,
Find someone that looks,
Probably.
and that's the thing, is like you see this a lot with Marvel movies, you see this even a lot with Star Wars, where it's like, oh, we'll just CGI their face to look similar to whatever. Just recast. No one cares if you recast.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. You might get like 6 people online who are the loudest 6 people who say, they recasted blankety blank, but at the end of the day, if you just recast, it will be better. You'll get a better, like a better performance. Unpopular opinion, Solo is a really good movie.
Ooh, we're getting.
We're gonna discuss
some
spoiler
disagreements
agreement there.
from
We
our
are gonna
sideline
get
over
actually
here.
a lot of disagreements. That's fine. But like, let's move on to like, what's your least favorite Star Wars movie? Since you've had such high praise for
Rogue One.
One.
I think, hands down, my least favorite. A lot of people, I know if you ask the internet any of this, they will say The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker. I don't like The Rise of Skywalker. The Last Jedi is okay. I do think that people who are like really young right now are going to grow up and look as fondly on the sequels as my generation looks on the prequels. That said, my least favorite Star Wars movie, hands down, is Attack of the Clones, Episode 2. It is the hands down worst Star Wars movie. It's
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's not, like the acting is not great, and it's no fault to the actors. It's just the direction's really bad. The writing, the dialogue writing is terrible. It's super memeable, and that's why people love it.
Okay, but also the CGI for at the time, groundbreaking. They quite literally made stuff for this movie to exist. They also did that for Lord of the Rings. But like, it was good, but they also introduced some of the worst characters of all time.
I feel like
Also, a
basically-
50s diner on Coruscant? Come on.
It doesn't make
I
sense.
feel like basically everything that this movie did that worked, even kind of worked, was just like, okay, let's just take it into like another movie or another whatever in this universe, and then they made it work even better. So it's
Right.
like, okay, so basically all the lows are really low, all the highs are like, okay, I can have better. Like,
Yeah.
That is like the least, that is the most anti-praise praise I have ever heard for this movie.
yeah, there were some
Okay.
good ideas there. That,
Okay. But I guess, why exactly is it your least favorite then?
It's my least favorite because it's a meandering plot. The writing is terrible, and at the end of the day, you feel like you've wasted 2 hours.
Yeah,
Oh,
say what you will
true.
about Rise of Skywalker, at least things happen in that
Yeah,
movie.
True.
maybe
Like,
too many things. But
yeah,
But
things
that's okay.
do happen.
But at least is there a portion that you liked? Like anything you could actually praise?
Yes, actually, the clone battle at the first Battle of Geonosis, hands down, is the only good part of that movie. And when I say this fact that Episode 2 is my least favorite, people say, "But what about the clone battle?" I'm like, "Dude, that's 15 minutes at the end of the movie."
Very.
You're really showing off your Star Wars nerd creds by calling
Yeah.
it the first battle of
Yeah.
Geonosis.
Yeah. Very much so. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you for coming
Yeah,
on.
no, thank you
as
guys for
one of our
having me.
experts.
Well, let's bring
bring
on
on
our
our
second guest, Justin.
Justin.
Or as it says in the script, Justine. Because there's an E at the end.
Yes, because I don't know how to spell. Okay. Well,
Well, hello there.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm TV10's production director. Yeah.
okay. I guess when and how did you get into Star Wars?
It's been involved with in my life ever since I was a kid. Me and my childhood best friend had I don't know if anyone remembers those like little minifigures that you could play with. We had big buckets
Legos?
full of them. No, not Legos. Like they're like designed minifigures.
Oh, the little flexible one?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That
yeah.
you could like fight with and set up battles with. We had a bunch of those. We had like 2 buckets worth. And we would just play with them all day while watching like all the movies. His like 6th birthday party was Star Wars theme, and he got to dress up as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was Yoda and I was Obi-Wan, I think. That's what it was. He decided to be Yoda, which is an interesting choice to be Yoda for your 6th birthday party. But yeah, it's always been there. Me and my childhood best friend had those toys. We even had to put like little dots on it in order to differentiate whose figures were whose.
That's very cute. Okay, so what is your favorite movie, or in your case, TV show? Sorry, spoilers.
Unfortunately, Max stole everything I wanted to say, i.e. Andor and Rogue One, because I knew Andor would come up when you're talking about Rogue One. So I went with the Clone Wars, which is my nostalgia hit. Growing up, seeing it anywhere, I was watching any TV, Clone Wars is playing, I'm turning it on. Take all that terrible writing and meandering story from episode 2, like they were just talking about, make it good, and then make it animated. That's what you get with Attack of the Clones, and before all that was happening. With Clone Wars, before all Attack of the Clones was happening too.
I would agree. Like, they were not afraid to show death or violence on TV for children, but it was still made for children. It was an adult, it's a kids' TV show meant for adults, basically. It was very good overall. Like, what exactly was your favorite parts from the story, or like favorite story arcs at all?
I would say anything with Ahsoka was great. Like,
That's
just
like-
the general Ahsoka arc, which
That's-
is like the main arc of the whole
That's pretty
show.
much like I think
Yeah.
she appears the most in the entire
Yeah,
series.
Show, yeah.
and the Darth Maul arc is amazing. Like the fact that he didn't die. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
and came
alert.
back as a weird cyborg thing.
The spider legs are terrifying.
terrifying,
They
and I
gave
love
me
it.
nightmares.
I love it.
It is so.
But yeah, Clone Wars, and how much has spun off of Clone Wars? You have
Yeah.
Rebels, Bad Batch. Like, there's so much that has spun off of Clone Wars that's amazing. So that's why I think it's my number one piece of Star Wars media.
Is there anything that you would change about it, or like add in as a series that you think it'd make it better?
I don't know if there's anything I need to change or add in as a series. I think every spin-off of it, like Rebels was great. Bad Batch is up there for me too in terms of media, Star Wars media. And I just think there's very few holes. Like, there could be a few plot points that you're like, ugh, or like the early animation doesn't look great, but other than that, I think it's sound writing, sound storytelling all the way through.
I think I would change it so that we would have like 5 more episodes of the R2-D2 and his droid friends just walking around in the Minecraft super flat world, and then just have that.
That would be so good. My only like critique.
That's George Lucas's favorite storyline in that show.
That's
Which is so funny to me.
It's like the stupidest storyline, but it works so well in this show, and it's perfect.
My only critique was I'd want more clones, but I got that in the Bad Batch. I love the Bad Batch. It might be my favorite TV show of Star Wars, despite the Mandalorian jersey going on. Okay, now what is your least favorite Star Wars movie, as we may have hinted at earlier?
Max, I'm
preempting
sorry.
a
It
loud
is
groan.
in fact Solo. God, this movie is terrible for me.
He's about to
Yeah.
get fired.
Maybe.
It does absolutely nothing for anyone. The casting, I hated the casting all around. The acting did not live up to expectations. And it just does nothing for any Star Wars story ever.
I don't get why they tried to do the human-robot relationship in this. That was
that
not
was
something
weird.
I needed at all to know about Lando. Like, I didn't want to know that, and now I know that, and I know that is now an issue within the Star Wars universe. I don't need that.
Yeah, it just... They had such success with the anthology series, with like an anthology movie like Rogue One, and they're like, oh, everyone likes Han Solo, right? Let's make a movie about all the terrible things he's ever done.
Yeah.
We know he's a terrible person. Like, come on. Like, we don't need to know everything.
like, why did they release it in like the summer of like 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3 months after the last Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't the right move.
and during like what it was during was it during Infinity War or Endgame? It was during some
it was
like
one of the big
big
two
like Marvel
movies.
movie too.
Yeah.
So like and like Disney. That's you. I don't know how much the different brands communicate over at Disney. I'd assume they'd be like
They're
relatively
supposed
independent
to.
because that happened.
I remember being so excited for this movie too, being like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun." And then like with the success of Rogue One and everything, I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And then I just go sit down in theaters and it starts playing. And I'm like, "Oh."
It makes him seem less roguish. Also, learning about his ex-wife did not help Han Solo as a character, I
No.
believe. Like, it just made me kind of dislike him more after the movie. Knowing about the Kessel Run, that was cool, kind of. I feel like maybe...
Yeah, like that's the only thing that I would take away from the movie. You
Yeah.
know?
Like, did you at least have a portion that you liked or anything you liked about it?
I think, learning more about the Castle Run and how that all worked, like that was cool. That was fun. Give us more info on his backstory that way. I don't need to know all the, again, terrible things Han Solo has done,
Like, they could have given us, like, a heist movie or been like, oh, this is just him doing illegal things, kind of like, being a smuggler, and then we could support him more as a character. You can still be roguish. For example, the Ant-Man movie. It was a heist movie, not a traditional Marvel movie, and it was good for that reason, and they could have done that with him, but they didn't.
I did like the part where he said, I'm gonna solo now. And then he whipped out his trumpet and started laying down a sick beat. I actually had a point that I was thinking of. All right, well, it looks like we're getting some mention in the studio that we should probably wrap this up. So we will be back with you soon.
For some trivia. Oh, I didn't notice you there.
No. We'll be right back after this short break with some trivia. Yay!